And with that intro music, welcome everybody to Fortress of Comic News, episode 39. I am Chris.
I'm Mike.
Is Mike.
It's me. Still here. Chris isn't feeling good today, so we got a nice short episode with Actually, I'm going to drag it out. We're going to drag out the episode. We have an interview with a young gentleman named JaVon coming up in the middle of the episode. Some good stuff there for his Kickstarter campaign. And how you feeling today, Chris? How's the hangover?
A wee bit hungover. I have some green apple Gatorade, and
there you go.
It's helping.
That and like Taco Bell usually cures my hangovers.
So, funny story. Right before...
Oh, here it goes.
So, I left like a few hours ago because I couldn't eat lunch for a while. And it's like, oh, it's 2 o'clock. I need to eat something. It's like, fuck, I'm going to Taco Bell. So, I went to Taco Bell today, too.
Oh, there you go. I knew it. It just cures all hangovers.
This is a
that
body
or like really
Taco
greasy
Bell,
Chinese
man.
food. I fuck Taco Bell. You should contact them. You could be like their spokesperson or something.
I mean, I'm down for it. As long as I can get the Chihuahua back.
Like, yeah, whatever. I don't know. Like, sometimes I make that reference, and I'm getting to that point now where kids don't get it. They're just like, you know Spanish? I'm like, no. Oh, my. There used to be this dog, and he used to like Taco Bell. Like, what? What do you... never mind. Just forget it.
Yeah, do you remember the promotion they did where like you could buy a stuffed version of him at the stores?
Yeah, I remember
had
that.
One of those. That's like how into the Taco Bell dog I was.
Wow, that's a little too much. I was just excited about him, but I didn't. Yeah, I guess I didn't fully commit there.
Yeah. True fan.
All right, everybody, we got some news here to go over with you. So sit back, relax,
so
crank up the volume.
I'm going to start this off with in-house news.
Oh, yeah.
So
let's do that.
Did a quick one over on the website. So if you go there right now, fortresscomicnews.com, it's a little different. Mostly just the homepage. But the big change is going to be I'm literally going to post everything we do on that website. So the top 5 video we do will be on that website. The podcast itself, there's going to be links to everywhere for that on the website. And as always, the comics every Sunday that are coming out this week are on the website. And anything we decide to do in the future will be on the website. So go there for all your Fortress of Comic News needs.
Yes, the website.
Really
for anyone who didn't catch all that. So movies. I went and saw the Ape movie this weekend, and without spoiling it, because Chris hasn't seen it yet, I will say it's probably my favorite out of the trilogy of the new Ape movies.
That's what I've been hearing from everybody.
I will say that I could not tell the apes were CGI at all. At some point, I was like, my mind was fighting with itself, saying like, these are real apes. Like,
did you pull a Kelso in the middle of the movie? You're like, wow, these apes are really good actors.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I felt, and it was like, oh man, every movie should just sets the bar now, because like there wasn't any uncanny valley there. It was good. That's all I can really say. And probably going to see Dunkirk next weekend, the new Christopher Nolan movie, and then Valerian comes out. But D23s, I think it's still happening. I don't know if it's over. There was a lot of Star Wars stuff going on. They released a poster for every character. So there's like a poster for Finn, Rey, Poe,
Luke,
Kylo Ren,
Kylo.
Luke, Leia. Yeah, they're all pretty like dark posters too. They all have like red in them. Then they released that like sizzle reel featurette thing that they have done for the last movies, and that was pretty cool. Like, I'm really hyped for the movie because it showed a lot of different like creatures.
Yeah, it had a very different tone to it. I mean, I know it was like a lot, and I don't know if I scenes, but still had like a different look and tone. Yeah. I was really excited about that.
Yeah, and I don't know if I should be worried about this yet, but like Ryan Johnson, is that his name? Who wrote the script. Everyone keeps saying it's a new take. It's like the script surprised them, but it was almost necessary, which is like, what is going to happen? I don't know what that means. Like it's something new to the entire, but it's like necessary. I don't know. It seemed really weird, but it was almost like, yeah, we had to do all this really bad shit the fans aren't going to like, but it had to be done. That's what I took it as. I'm like, oh boy. But it almost seems like he's going to explore the lore of the dark and the light side, maybe the light and the dark. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm okay with it personally. I think we had the conversation with Miles like a month or two back, and one of the things was like I love episode 7. I think episode 7 was fantastic. But if they come out in episode 8 and they blow up another goddamn Death Star, I'm gonna be just what the fuck? Like, there's so many stories that can be told. We don't need to blow up another one.
Yeah, exactly.
So different isn't necessarily bad in my eyes, as long as it's not like prequel different.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't go that far. I think that's about it for movie stuff. So Stranger Things released a new poster. It's pretty crazy looking. It almost looks like the poster of all of them on bicycles, and like the sky is like crumbling and breaking apart. I think it might be a little further than the town this time. Like maybe it starts affecting the outer areas, or like I don't know, we got other dimensions or something like that. It's really hard to tell, but
I still really need to watch that show.
Yeah, you really do, because you don't really understand what I'm saying here, and
no, and everything everyone never tells me is that it's a show that I would love.
Yeah, it's 80s, dude. That's all you really need to know. And basically, like, the kids are just us when we were young. They make X-Men references. They're playing Dungeons and Dragons. Like, the show was made for us. Like, come on. And the fact that it's mainstream is awesome. And also, the release date is sometime in October, right?
It's October 24th?
I think it's like, yeah, like the week before Halloween.
Yeah, which is a good idea for a show like that.
Yeah, I think it came out around October last time too. But yeah, it's a fantastic show. I can't give it enough. Oh, and really quick, I forgot to say, for the 8 movie, I'd probably give it like an 8 or 9 out of 10, just to set the bar for you when you go see it.
Oh, thanks. Now I'm gonna hate it.
No, Chris is gonna hate the movie. Oops. So did you watch Preacher? You caught up on Preacher?
Yeah, there wasn't an episode this week though. Or no, there was the Victor one. I forgot about that.
Yeah, the Victor episode. So we finally met Victor, and he's like, the first scene where he comes out the door, he's like torturing someone. Basically the whole episode, like, Cassidy's trying to hint at Jesse that, like, Tulip's in danger, and he's like, no, she's fine, and like he keeps texting her like, are you okay? And finally Jesse finds out she's not okay and goes there and starts using the voice and like makes everybody get out of the way, but it's too late. He gets away with Tulip. But that fight scene, the fight scene at the end with like the butcher guy, and like he puts in the headphones, he rips off his arm and starts using the arm as a weapon. Yeah. Like he's already torturing a guy hanging there, and they start using him as like a weapon. It's so ridiculous.
That fight scene was almost like, it felt like the hallway scene in Daredevil. Like it was, I don't think it was one shot. I think it was multiple shots, but still, like just choreography and everything going on in that room and all the different things that happened were just amazing. And
I forgot, there's another big part of it, the Hitler scene. Like,
that was going to be,
we get to explore.
That was going to be what I brought up. Yeah,
we get to. Yeah, I forgot about that. We get to explore like what hell was, and basically like they're all reliving their hells, and Eugene kind of befriends Hitler at one point.
Yeah, I want to tread.
Then kind of turns on him.
I want to tread lightly on this, but they found a way to make me sympathetic towards Hitler.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he kind of
like that's how good the storytelling was there, because they show you his personal hell, or at least a portion of his personal hell, And like, there's a moment
Yeah.
where like a Jewish man runs into him, and you think like that's what's gonna start the whole thing, but he's like, "Oh no, excuse me, no problem." And then afterwards, like he's just talking. It seems like a man who has been in hell for so long. And he's just like, "I get it. I was an asshole." And now he's kind of
like he finally gets it.
Yeah, he's finally like atoning for that, or at least in his own way. And he's definitely like the outcast, and people don't like him there. And he tries to befriend, what's his name? Arseface. Eugene. And Eugene, ends up turning on him by helping everyone out as they beat him to death. It was very weird, and I was sitting there, and I had to pause it for a moment because I'm just like, why do I feel bad for Hitler? Like, is there something wrong with me, or is the show just that good?
Yeah, I think it's just that good.
Yeah.
And we didn't get to finish Hitler's hell, so I want to know what actually happens.
Yeah, I'm
what he has to
very
relive.
intrigued by that storyline.
I'm sure whatever it is, it's whatever sparked, him killing all the Jews, and I'm sure it's really comedic, but we haven't got to see what his whole hell is. It was a really good episode, and then obviously it ends where we almost forget that the Santa Killers is around, but Jesse started using the Genesis so much that Santa Killers is like, oh yeah, I know where he is, and it shows him like walk down a freeway, which is awesome. Like he's just getting to the city. He just got to New Orleans, so they're screwed.
Yeah. So after that, there was an announcement for New Warriors. So Marvel's doing a New Warriors TV show, and they announced the cast this week.
Like the Warriors, those kind of Warriors?
No. Basically, they're calling it New Warriors, but this is basically looking more like the Great Lakes Avengers characters. Now, what's big here is one of my favorite characters is going to be in this show. The one and only Squirrel Girl.
Oh, okay. So this is an Avengers thing. I was thinking when it said New Warriors in the show notes, I was like, Warriors, like the '80s movie where.
No. This is
Okay, this
is a Marvel superhero thing. So they announced.
Okay, that's why I didn't understand it. All right.
I'm getting all this from the LA Times, by the way, but they announced. Okay, we're gonna go on this last name thing, but Milana Ventrub. I've never seen her.
Never heard of her.
But she's going to be Squirrel Girl. She has the look, at least in this picture they show.
Squirrely.
Well, yeah, like petite, and she has the ponytail, and she's
like
obviously
she can leap.
attractive, so she's really cute, and she'll fit the.
Like she can climb a tree.
Yeah, and like she can befriend a squirrel. Let's see. So we also have Derek Theller as Mr. Immortal. I don't know any of these people. Jeremy Tardy as Night Thrasher. Colum.
That sounds just like a guy who goes around listening to metal music at night.
Colum Worthy as Speedball.
What are these heroes?
They're literally. This is a band of like C-list heroes.
Yeah, this is a Speedball.
But
does he just smokes crack and he gets like super powerful?
He can throw balls of kinetic energy.
Oh my god.
Matthew Moe as Microbe, and he has the he can talk to germs.
Is this a real thing?
This is a real thing. And Kate Comer as Debris, and she is an out-proud, low-level telekinetic.
Like, that's actually useful, I think, out of all those heroes.
I mean, the most useful is obviously the ability to talk to squirrels.
I don't understand how these powers can come together and solve anything, but I guess we'll find out.
I've been reading Great Lakes Avengers forever, and Great Lakes Avengers is like Squirrel Girl, Mr. Immortal, Doorman, and Flatman. And Mr. Immortal's only ability is he can't die. Doorman is he can create doors. And doors to like other dimensions and shit, so it's a little more than that.
Are they fake doors? Oh, the real doors. Imagine the power to make fake doors.
He's basically a good version of the Spot. And Flatman. Flatman is constantly mistaken for Mr. Fantastic because he wears a blue suit with a giant F on it, but he can stretch, but he can only stretch if he's in 2 dimensions.
Oh.
And then there's Big Bertha, who can control the size of her and shape of her body. But she chooses to walk around as an overweight woman all the time. And she's also a model.
All right. Oh. Okay.
There's good things going on at Marvel, man, you're missing out on.
I'm not too excited about this show, but I'm sure you'll watch it and give us the rundown, and then I'll probably jump on if you enjoy it.
Yeah, I will. I'll give it a shot just for Squirrel Girl.
Well, yeah. It's one of your favorite heroes.
Yeah. Oh. Well.
All right. I think it's time to cut to the interview.
Yeah. So we will be right back, and on the other side, we'll talk some comics.
Comics.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We have with us right now JaVon Stokes. That name I got right, Mike.
You did?
Yeah, he finally got a name right.
Who has a Kickstarter up for a book called Heat. So, JaVon, say hello.
Hello, everyone. How's it going?
Good. Hey, JaVon. Thanks for being on the show, man.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
We're just taking a look at your Kickstarter here. Is this your first comic project you're doing, or?
So, very quick, funny story. So, I decided to do a comic book years ago. The first time I got out of Savannah College of Art and Design, I did a comic book. It was called The Dark Path.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't very good. But I literally, went and took it and gave it to, Jeff Johns and Dan Didio and a host of people. Mm-hmm. And, after the fact, I thought to myself, I probably shouldn't have done that.
You got to start somewhere, though, right? I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I know I don't know much about it, but if I wrote something, I'd probably be like, well, who do I send it to now? Well, I guess Jeff Johns is probably one of the best. So.
Yeah, I kind of cut in front of a lot of people to give them that book,
Yeah, it happens. Well, this is cool. I mean, you got 5 days to go on this Kickstarter. The name of the book is called Heat.
Yep, Heat.
Right. You want to give us just a rundown of it and what's it about?
Yeah, absolutely. So I love superheroes.
Yeah.
I have my entire life. Superhero comics are how I learned how to read. Number one.
Okay. Awesome.
But what I wanted to do a comic book where, number one, I wanted a comic book character that looked like me.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
There's not many out there.
Yeah.
You have your Black Panthers, you have your Luke Cages, you have your Storms.
But there's only a handful there.
Yeah, there's a handful, but they're either on one end of the spectrum or the other. So they're either kings and queens, or they're, ex-cons.
Yeah, yeah. There's nobody in between. Yeah, you're right.
I'm shooting right for the middle. So in the vein of, Static, this is in Spider-Man. This is, one of the characters I've had since college. And what I wanted to do was tell a story about becoming powerful and understanding that that's not the end of the story.
Huh.
The analogy I use is Cam Newton meets Spider-Man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so you've got a guy who's got essentially all the power in the world, and then he wants to be a superhero and then makes probably the biggest mistake you can make as a superhero. Mm-hmm. And then that's kind of where the story goes from there. I don't want to spoil the ending.
Yeah.
But it kind of goes to a place where you start to understand, what it means to be a hero and how to actually get there.
Okay. Well, cool. Yeah, I mean, it definitely, when I looked at it, it looks a lot different than your typical The one thing I did like that you said about it, I think in the description on the Kickstarter, was something about like Invincible, along the lines of that.
Yeah. Yep.
It's one of my favorite books of all time by Robert Kirkman, and so that made me back it right there. So that always helped.
Well,
so what kind of?
I have
books?
two different. So
Okay.
sorry, I apologize.
Yeah.
I have actually
No, it's okay.
I used that. It was Invincible, and I'm a huge fan of Mark Waid and Ron Garney's Captain America.
Oh, okay, yep.
That run, I read it over and over and over again.
Yeah,
so I was
Mark
really
Waid,
trying to tap that energy, that speed of the book. Like they didn't waste time. Stuff happened in the book.
Yeah, I mean Mark Waid. It's
one of the great Captain America runs.
It's hard to top. It's hard to top Mark Waid, and I know Chris is a huge Captain America fan, so he probably loves to hear that.
Hey, Cap is my favorite hero, man. I fell in love with Captain America because of Mark Waid.
Awesome.
Yeah, what do you think of the rumor of him possibly coming back on Captain America with Chris Samney?
I've heard of the rumor, and I've heard it was for a limited time, which I probably will jump on it and get it because Mark Waid's my favorite writer. It goes, it's Mark, and then there's Jeff Johns, and then who's the other one?
Grant Morrison.
Those two guys, I'll generally buy anything of theirs.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. I mean, if Mark Waid goes back to writing a Marvel book, then I'll probably pick it up too. And I don't really. You can ask Chris. I don't pick up any Marvel books right now. I'm all DC.
I actually just got back into picking up individual Marvel books. Like I'm reading Defenders now.
Oh, okay.
And Luke Cage.
Yeah,
it's
cast.
It seemed to really, those shows seem to really help that out, especially with Luke Cage. Like, not a lot of people, I mean, that character never really got the spotlight. So it's good that, those characters are like mainstream now.
Yeah. So right now it's Invincible, which I'm kind of riding out to the end, and I'm hoping.
Yeah, I know we all are.
Yeah,
we all are.
I'm hoping to be the spiritual successor to it.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, I'm going to need something to fill the void when it's gone. I think there are, 6 more issues left or something like that, and then we're done.
Yeah, I love how there was no real status quo. It's like...
Yeah. Yep.
Las Vegas is blown up in this issue, and it stays blown up.
yeah, exactly. Everyone's still dead.
Everyone's
cool.
Dead.
So, I mean, you said you started reading comics at a really young age, so it's obviously influenced you throughout your life. And you write and draw the book too. You do both things.
Yeah, everything in that book is me: writing, drawing, lettering, coloring, editing.
So does that give you a little freedom? I'm sure, especially like the big names and stuff. They get a script and then they have to draw it. So like, do you write the script first and then you start getting drawing to it, or do you do kind of both hand in hand? Or like, oh, maybe I'll change that up because I didn't want to draw it this way, or.
So. What my process is it's very herky-jerky, I guess.
Yeah.
So I do write a script. I do write a script, and then I take the script and then I kind of draw it out and I sketch it.
Mm-hmm.
But somewhere between writing it and drawing it, it's a constant push and pull, because when it's two people doing it, it's like, you have kind of the writer's vision and then you have the artist's vision. I have to be like 5 different people.
Yeah, for sure.
And there will be a fight between the 5 different people. So, the penciler wants to put all this in ornate detail. And then the inker's like, what are you doing? I don't want to have to ink all that. And the colorist is like, I agree with him. So
yeah.
There's definitely a free flowing, things will change at the drop of a dime, but I generally keep the skeleton, from start to finish.
Awesome.
Cool.
So do you have a big plan for this book? I mean, it says you have quite a few issues planned out. Is that already do you have an overarching story, with all these issues and then stuff in between, or?
So I've had this story going in my head for maybe almost 10 years now. So
okay.
I have maybe 150 issues in my head, ready to go.
Oh wow. Awesome.
I'm ready to. I'm in this for the long haul. I've got
Okay.
three issues are written and
Yeah.
drawn in
Okay.
ink.
Cool.
The first two are colored, and then I'm actually going to start coloring the third book this month.
Awesome.
So I'm trying to do it so that there's no there's no lag. You know, you can get a book every month.
That's cool.
So, are you trying to go with? I mean, I've seen a lot of creators go with this kind of Kickstarter method where they put every issue up on Kickstarter. Or are you? Is this kind of your way of trying to find a publisher and get it out on a regular basis through Diamond or some other? Or that's the only distributor, but something like that.
Yeah, the answer is yes. For both. Well, what I want to do is the Kickstarter is really just to get me going. For the first issue, I have my own money that I'm putting into it a little bit, but the Kickstarter will kind of put me on a different level. You'll be, anybody will be able to go to the website visuallystoked.com, and they can pre-order the book, and I'm gonna, they can get it directly to them for now. Diamond is a bit daunting for me now, but at the same time, if Image Comics calls me and they like what they see and they want to, help me out, I am not adverse to doing that.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, so I mean, we're gonna you can find all this stuff, his previous work too. I see you've done some art for a children's book as well. It's at visuallystoked.com. We'll put that on our website and Facebook page, and we'll put a link to the Kickstarter. Kickstarter only has 5 days, so it's almost there. I think it needs like a couple $100 more bucks. So back this. Yeah, it's not a whole lot.
Every dollar helps.
Yeah, it's only $10 here. I mean, come on, you save at the bar. Don't order a couple more beers and just order this comic book instead.
So as well as that,
awesome. I mean,
everything's in the show notes. It'll also be in the post on the website, fortrescomicnews.com, which I'll also link to his website. So all that info will be there, as well as JaVon was nice enough to send me some promo stuff. It's on the Kickstarter as well, but so we're gonna throw that in there. I believe there's a few pages of the book as well within those images, so that will give you an idea what the book is about too. And is there anything in all that any kind of setup, or is that the first couple pages?
So it's actually, I believe I sent you the first 5 pages of the book.
Yes.
Which to me gives you a very good sense of the character. How he start his journey. I can tell you by the end of the book, he'll have an entirely different mindset.
Okay.
Give me that little tease, but
okay, awesome.
So yeah, if you were listening or watching this, you can go on fortrescomicnews.com, look at the post on the main page, which at the top of this show I will discuss some of the new changes to our website. But look at the post on that page, and I will have the preview of the 5 pages he sent me on there, so you can get a little idea of what the book's about, what the feel of it is, and hopefully go and donate to the Kickstarter. So
awesome. One more thing. Can I add in one more thing?
Yeah,
go for it. Yeah.
I just wrote an article for bleedingcool.com.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it should be up on the main page, but I can send you guys a link to put up as well.
Yeah, send me a link and I'll
awesome. Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, Bleeding Cool is a website that has all comic news and pop culture stuff. I think it's still split up, like half of it is the comic news and half is like the movies and stuff. So awesome. Yeah, we'll link your article. That's pretty big. I mean, I frequent Bleeding Cool all the time, so that's really cool, man. Congrats.
Yep. I'll send that to you guys as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
all right, well, thanks for being on the show, JaVon.
Nope. Real quick before we let you go, pimp out the social media and everything.
Yeah. Yep. Where can we find you?
I'm sorry, say again?
Oh, I said pimp out the social media. Where can people find you?
So I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Visually Stoked. It's Visually_Stoked, I believe.
Okay.
I'm on Instagram, Visually_Stoked. And then, Facebook, there is a Heat page. So it's Heat, the comic book series. You can find it if you search for it.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks for being on the show, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the time.
Thanks.
Yep. You have a good one.
Yep. You too, guys.
Cool. We're back.
We're back!
Thanks for showing up, JaVon.
Yeah, thanks again, JaVon. Good interview there with the quality Invincible fan. That's always good to talk to. Yeah, so this isn't a joke, I don't think. Ragman is getting his own comic book series. There's a bunch of things wrong with this, and it's not the fact that Ragman is getting his own comic book series. It's the fact that you're giving Ragman his own comic book series before the Atom is getting his own comic book series. Before Plastic Man is getting his own comic book series. There's a list. There's a long list that goes in front of Ragman. You know there is.
My only thought process here is that everybody, like, there must have been a ton of people that watched Arrow and were just like, I really like Ragman.
Because of Ragman?
Well, no, like, just ended up liking him a lot.
They just did, like, market research?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
There's no depth to the character. Please listen, everyone. Ragman is covered in magical rags that, like, they're like sentient rags that they just like shoot at you and grab you. That's about it. That's about all he's got. Never, like, yeah, okay, depending on who they have writing it and drawing it, yeah, this could be really good. Like, if it's Grant Morrison doing it, oh, hell yeah, like, we'll see where he goes. Like, I remember Grant Morrison did Animal Man, everybody's like, oh, it was fucking Animal Man sucks. But I just think there's a lot, like, I think a Crazy Quilt book would sell more than a Ragman book would, but that's just me.
Oh, fuck yeah, because he better be fighting Crazy Quilt now. That's the only acceptable reason for this book to exist.
Yes, the only acceptable villain for Ragman to have is Crazy Quilt. So, and they just, like, compete for, like, a sewing competition or something. I don't know.
The only thing here is there's only two people that can pull this off. Writers. I mean, artists, you could go here and there. Yeah. But Jeff Johns...
Give it to Jai Lee.
And Grant Morris.
He draws everybody like rags. Sorry. You knew it was coming.
It would have to be Grant Morrison or Jeff Johns, because they're the only two guys that can take a character like that and make me give a fuck about them.
Yeah. Unless they make it like one of those CW TV books like they did with Flash TV and Arrow.
Oh, Ragman Season 1.
Yeah, then it's like, then they just put whatever writer on it and it'll sell a few books here and there, but yeah.
Yeah.
But Earth 1 Green Lantern, now that's a book I could get behind. Well, a trade paperback, I guess.
Yes.
We've talked about Earth 1s a lot on here. All the Earth 1 stories are fantastic. They've already announced Wonder Woman Part 2, who was done by Grant Morrison, Gary, and Yannick Paquette. They announced another one too. I think it was Titans Part 2, maybe.
Yeah, it was either Titans Part 2 or Batman Part 3. I can't remember.
So Earth 1 Green Lantern, and I forgot who's writing it, but it was.
Well, while he looks that up, yeah, they're doing kind of a redoing the origin of Green Lantern, because they are going to do Hal Jordan. And I really like the direction they're going. So instead of working for Ferris Industries as a test pilot, he's going to work for Ferris Galactic as an astronaut when something goes wrong.
Yes.
And he gets the ring that way. And then the main story is going to be that the Green Lantern Corps has actually been obliterated by the Manhunters. And he is the only one left, he has to help build the Green Lantern Corps again. So it's a great starting off point. I like the change to the origin. So I think this could be one of the better Green Lantern books, even though Green Lantern has been really good for a long time.
So Gabriel Hardman is doing it. Don't really know. Apparently he was a storyboard artist on Interstellar.
Yes.
So he's the new origin. He's an astronaut scientist, which this is going to be crazy, I think. Yeah, I mean that's all we can really say about it now. But I mean the picture, it's almost like they took. I remember they did those movie parody covers for all the DC books, and one of them for Green Lantern was Space or 2001 Space Odyssey. Mm-hmm. And that's like what the cover looks like with the helmet. He has like the helmet and spacesuit on. It's funny, they must have looked at that cover and been like, we can make a story about this. Because it's almost like copy paste the same picture.
Yeah, it makes so much sense to update his origin that way.
Yeah, so the husband and wife creative team, Gabriel Hardman and Karina Becco, are rebooting. You have to look up what those names don't ring a bell, which is strange because most of the Earth ones have been like iconic writers.
Yeah, Jeff Lemire, Jeff Johns. Who did the
and Straczynski.
It is weird, but still, I mean, if they do it right, that could be an amazing book.
Yeah, well, I'm picking it up regardless. All right, Chris wants to talk something called Marvel Legacy that just keeps getting better and better for him.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start this off because you're gonna love this. They announced that the first batch of Marvel Legacy books are gonna have.
I know what you're gonna say.
Lenticular covers.
Hell yeah!
So all 52
covers.
books are gonna have lenticular colors.
Oh my god!
It makes me laugh because I know exactly what they're doing. It's just like they're taking a giant middle finger to DC. Like, we're gonna do exactly what you did. We're gonna do it.
52 books,
and we're gonna do it and make more money than you did.
Yeah,
but
the rival comic book industries are here. This is in full force now.
Yeah, but this is what you want. You want good competition and people going back and forth, and healthy Marvel and a healthy DC means healthy comics. So
hell yeah.
So we're gonna go through announce some more numbering and creative teams for books. Any books that jump out to me, we'll go deeper into. But we got Iron Fist number 73. That's gonna be Ed Brisson and pencils by Mike Perkins.
Are they? Is that like the original? Is that the original storyline they're picking up off for Iron Fist?
All the legacy books are basically continuing from where they were. They're just changing the numbering back to legacy numbers. Some of the characters are going to go back to the roots. We got to find out after the legacy one-shots and the Generations one-shots and all this other bullshit. So this one's basically Sabretooth is back. That's it.
Nice.
Jessica Jones, number 13, written by Brian Michael Bendis and pencils by Michael Gaydos. I hope I'm saying that right.
You got Bendis back on the character that he created, right?
Yeah, he's been on her since they brought her back. He's even on Defenders, so he's writing her there too. There's been other than the TV show, nobody has ever written Jessica Jones other than him, to my knowledge. And what's big about this is it's the return of the Purple Man, so they're gonna do the Netflix story, I guess.
Kilgrave.
So we got
they're just gonna do that again.
So we got Cable number 150. This is also written by Ed Brisson and pens by John Mallon. I don't really care that much, but I might pick this book up just because Dupe is on the cover.
Oh, you might want to be careful though, because they talked about bringing Cable into the Deadpool movie, so I feel like Deadpool might be making an appearance in that book.
Yeah, but I buy every appearance.
I'm just trying to look out for you.
I know, but I buy every appearance of Dupe because I feel like I need to tell Marvel, like, hey, this character needs his own book.
The one guy buying all the Dupe.
Just one guy buying all the Dupe books. When they did a miniseries, I bought the whole thing. Probably the worst character of all time, Gwenpool the Unbelievable, number 21.
Oh god.
This is written by Christoph Hastings and penciled by Irene Strikalski.
Sure.
Okay. Fuck that book. Uncanny Avengers number 28.
Chris is not having it today. He's just not about today.
Okay. I personally cannot stand Gwenpool. I don't understand this obsession Marvel has with like Gwen Stacying everything. And Gwenpool of most.
Like, why not Mary Jane? Why does it always have to be Gwen Stacy?
Yeah.
Like, MJ gets no love.
And also just
Anyways.
There was a whole month where Marvel was just like, we're gonna put Gwenpool in everything. And so I had to read a whole month of like Gwenpool in this and Gwenpool in that, and I was like, God damn, this character's so bad.
It must sell books though. It has to sell books.
It has to. The only book that did it right was Champions of that month, and that was Mark Waid writing it, and he completely made fun of the whole premise and was just like, no, you're stupid, get out of here.
He's like, I'm going to take this bullshit character and say this is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. Okay, so Uncanny Avengers number 28, written by Jim Zub and Sean... I don't know your last name. I'm done. Mighty Thor number 700 is written by Jason Aaron and pencils by Russell Dauterman. This is... I mean, if you haven't listened to me yet, then I don't know what you're doing with your life. Read Mighty Thor.
Yeah, Chris is a little angsty today.
And this is The Death of the Mighty Thor Part 1. So, I guess
he dies.
Dying.
So it takes him a couple issues to die.
That happens. This one could be interesting. Spirits of Vengeance number 1. And this will be a mini-series. Written by Victor Gischel. Why does everyone have to have hard last names?
I don't know. Can't they just make it like Frank Quitely? Can't they just do aliases for like John Jims?
I'm just gonna start saying like Victor G.
Catherine Cat. Like, just change your name.
Yeah,
make it easier for us.
My life's hard enough, man. Like, I don't need this.
I don't need this in my life.
Now I'm just playing it up. Drawn by David Baldian. Sure. What's interesting here is it's a mixture of Ghost Rider, Blade, Damien, and I don't know, some chick with horns. I'm not sure who that is. Johnny Blaze, the Ghost Rider, Punish, everybody. Okay, so Hellstrom, Satana, Blade, and of course Ghost Rider. That could be cool. I don't know. U.S. Avengers number 11. This is written by Al Ewing and art by Paco Diaz. USA Avengers have been really good. And also Squirrel Girl's on the team, so win-win.
So that's why.
Jean Grey number 8. Written by Dennis Hopeless and pencils by Victor Ibanez.
That book is hopeless. Who wants to read a book about Jean Grey?
Yeah. I don't think she is good enough to have her own book, but people must like it. Royals number 9, written by Al Ewing and pencils by Javier Rodriguez. Iceman number 6, written by Sina Grace and pencils by Robert Gill. Avengers are in this list. Avengers 672, written by Mark Waid and pencils by Jesus Saez, with a cover by Alex Ross.
Oh, snap. So Mark Waid's going back to Avengers?
He's been on Avengers.
Oh, he's been on Avengers?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
The Avengers have been really good, too. And he's also doing Champions, and we got Champions number 13, which he's writing with pencils by Humberto Romez. Champions has also been really good. It's kind of the younger characters that were being recruited to the Avengers, and then they felt like they weren't doing what they were supposed to, so they created their own team. It's a lot of fun. It's really weird. That's everything. My list is done.
All right.
I love
before
lists.
Chris passes out, let's what did we read this week? The second part of Metal, the
casting.
What do they call it? The prologue? Is that what it's called? Yeah, but it's the prologue to Metal.
Yeah.
Epilogue.
Prelude to Metal.
Prologue. Prelude. That one. Yeah. Prelude to DC's Metal universe thing. It's pretty good issue. I believe they renamed like the Hawkman's nth metal gets a typo for the last 30 years, and it's supposed to be like ninth metal.
Yeah.
Because there's other numbered metals. Unless they're all numbered metals, and nth metal is just like above all the number. I don't know. It's making the Hawkman origin a lot more confusing than it already was. But obviously, the Joker tricks Robin and Green Lantern and breaks out because he's the Joker.
Joker does.
We find out that the dagger that Batman's looking for, he gets this like awesome flame sword from Wonder Woman. He enters like I can't remember how to pronounce his name. Hephaestus or something, the guy who forges the weapons of the gods. Hephaestus, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. The god that makes weapons. He had this flame sword, and Wonder Woman's like, here. Like Wonder Woman is like, hey, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this, and hands him a flame sword. That was a little Zelda reference there for you. And he takes it. I'm like, oh hell yeah! Are you gonna give me a book with Batman and a magical flaming sword? But they didn't. He traded it for a magical dagger with Talia, and the dagger belongs to Shazam, the wizard. It has the little lightning bolt on it.
Yeah,
and we find out that there's like I don't know what that means, but
yeah, and I was intrigued by that because I don't think we've seen Shazam in Rebirth yet.
No, we haven't. It reminded me we haven't. I mean, we saw him in the original. The Justice League, New 52 Justice League. But yeah, it's interesting. There's a secret society of like magicians, and like Ra's al Ghul is part of it with Shazam the Wizard and a bunch of other people.
Yeah, and I I listened to an interview with Scott Snyder, and he was talking about how everyone in that scene is like somebody important. Because he literally said that I had all these people lined up that I wanted to be in there, but they wanted to leave some secrets for the book, so we had to put them all in hoods. And that's why everyone's kind of in a hood with the mask on.
And there's like 12 people in that scene. Damn.
Yeah. So, my only complaint about this book is, and Marvel does the same thing, this goddamn Snickers article or thing in the middle. Did you see that?
Oh, is that the one is that the Doomsday Wonder Woman ad?
No, they changed it. It's Gorilla Grodd and Flash now.
Oh, I haven't seen that one, no.
And like you turned the page and I started reading, I was like, what the fuck is going Oh god, it's a goddamn article.
It looks a lot like the comic book, and you get confused.
I was so confused.
Yeah.
But
so like you're reading this like serious book, and then you're like, wait, why is there Snickers? Why is Gorilla Grodd here?
But I'm super excited for Metal. I think it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be awesome. It's a huge fan service. We're gonna get some ridiculous stuff, and all the variant covers that are coming out for Metal are just like Batman wearing armor, fighting dragons and shit. It's like, you can take enough of my money of this.
And I can't wait to see these one shots of all the different Batman. Yeah, this is gearing up to be a cool story. Did you have anything else?
That's all I got there. I think that's all I had to read. Okay. No, I think that's it for me.
Okay, so I'll start top. I got Centipede #1.
Oh yeah, that came out. That looks pretty weird.
Yeah, it is really weird. This guy, it's not on Earth, and this guy is like the only one left on this planet, and the Centipede has killed everybody. So he goes out to seek revenge, and he fights like all the different villains from Centipede, the spiders and everything. It's really like, it's weird, different, but I really liked it. And at the end, the Centipede shows up and is huge.
So it's like, is it like the video game at all?
It uses all the like ideas for the video game. So there's a giant centipede, and like all the different little things
all the
different little creatures in the game or in the book. But it's really just I mean, there's no real story to those games.
Yeah.
So they just kind of took the idea and ran with it. It's a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Huh.
So I got Spider-Man #2. If I really like this. If you read the first one, there's like a lot of nods to Spider-Man this is Spider-Man 2 #1.
Oh my god.
So yeah.
This numbering is getting out of hand.
So in the first Spider-Man series, it was back when there was an Ultimate Universe and the 616 universe, and Miles came over and basically Peter from 616 like trained him and showed him what it's like to be Spider-Man. And in this one, they're now in the same universe. And there's a great part of this where they go to the warehouse where the dimensional portal was. And they're sitting there going like, yeah, remember that time that we were in different universes and you came through this and then we were in the same universe and then you went back and the universe collapsed and now you're in my universe? It's a great like 2-page thing where they're just going over it. And
how confusing it actually gets.
Yeah. And it's Bendis writing it, so he's just, he's making fun of his own continuity.
Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
The whole plot here is that there's another Miles Morales in the 616 universe because for everyone in the Ultimate Universe, there's a counterpart in 616. So they're going to figure out who it is. And the last page, I'm pretty sure they say, hello, Mr. Morales, and show a face of a character, but don't tell us whether it's Miles or not. But I'm pretty sure it's Miles.
The funny thing about Bendis is I read Nailbiter, the Image comic by I think it's Williamson, the guy who does he was doing Flash and he does that like fantasy book Birthright, but there was a whole few issues where Brian Michael Bendis shows up to like the murder town and wants to like write a book about it, and like he's trying to like interview people. It's just like hilarious. They're talking about like they like make jabs about comic books and stuff. It's really funny. A couple issues.
That's great. I love Brian Michael Bendis is a lot of fun to. If you ever seen an interview with him or anything, he's really smart and just a ton of fun. I also love it when him and Kirkman go at it because they have the greatest arguments.
Yeah.
Did you get Action Comics 983?
No, I don't read Action.
Oh, so right now all these villains. So we got Cyborg Superman, Blanc, Eradicator, General Zod, and I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, Mongol and Metallo are all after Superman. So they come and attack the Fortress of Solitude. Now, all the super people in Earth are coming to back Superman up. So we have Steel, Lex Luthor, the new Superman from China, Superwoman, Supergirl. And this whole issue is just those fighting the other group. And it's awesome.
That's awesome. That does sound awesome.
That Dan Jurgens knows how to write a Superman comic. Killer Be Killed #10. Ed Brubaker. So the main character in this is off his meds now, and he starts seeing the demon that's supposedly forcing him to kill people. And really, the big reveal here is that his girlfriend starts an art exhibit with his father's old paintings, because his father used to draw erotic paintings for what is essentially Playboy in this universe. And
of course he did.
Yeah, right. And one of the paintings he made was basically a painting of hell and all these women dancing around, but the demon from his visions is in that painting. So we're not sure whether this character is insane or what the deal is. But that's a really great book.
Interesting.
It's crazy. Ed Brubaker writes good comics. But that is everything I got.
All right. I think is that it? So we're gonna do our '60s Batman bit, but Chris didn't get to the episode, so we're gonna have to do it next week.
Yeah, it's been a week.
Yeah.
So, Mike, where can everybody find you?
At Ricker621 on Instagrams, as usual.
Solid. And you can find me at Fortress Chris on Twitter and Fortress News Chris on Instagram.
Quiz. Fortress News Quiz.
I read too many Elmer Fudd comics. Fuck. FortressComicNews.com. Go there. Everything's new and different there. Check it out. We've got our new logo on.
All new, all different.
Yes, all new, all different.
Number one,
Fortress Comic News.
Fortress Comic News.
Yeah, instead of 40, we should reboot and do number 1 again.
Yeah, that'll get more viewers. All right, thanks for listening, everybody. See you.
Thank you.